there's still a lot of mental benefits to continuing to have some sort of routine or cycle. So I have stepped back from the type of training I have always done or have done for the last few years, but I still am trying to go on at least a small run every day, if not, like 5 to 10 miles. And still trying to get strength training in like 2 to 4 times per week. And then also still trying to make time for things that I find really enjoyable, like climbing or running, and flying off a mountain. So those things I think are really important to find. So like if I remember when I fractured my heel a few years back, I would always feel better after doing like a skier workout. Since I couldn't do lower body stuff, I'd hop on the skier, or I would use the assault bike and prop my broken leg off to the side and just pedal with one leg and use the arms. And I would always feel healthier mentally after that. I think that is the biggest thing if you're injured, is find something you can do. Because if you just do nothing and start watching like so much TV and so many movies and scrolling Instagram for hours, you're constantly in that cycle of like just waiting for life to get better instead of making it better. That, and then there's a lot of science on like blood flow, helps you regenerate faster, it helps you heal faster. And so even if you're training the non-injured side, if you have an injured leg or an injured arm, like training the non-injured side actually helps maintain muscle mass in your injured side, which is crazy to me. Like you could never touch one leg, but if you train your other leg, it will help maintain muscle in the leg that you're not even using. It's crazy. So yeah, like trying to find those things is huge.
And that very much stems into what you said online. You said needing grace to not throw in the towel and putting it all out the window.
Yeah. I think that's the second biggest thing, is trying to fight against that mindset, especially when you're really used to your routine, or you're a very high level athlete. When all of that's taken away and you don't feel as special anymore, you don't feel as gifted or as motivated, it really gets to a point where it feels like it's not really worth it anymore. Because when you're a very high level athlete, it's not just about exercise in your brain. Like I've lived my whole life knowing that, 30 minutes is enough exercise per day to like maintain like a large amount of mental health, right? And to also maintain longevity and fitness. And they say after about 8 hours of training per week, you're actually sometimes fighting against your body. Like if you're trying to live the longest you can, training 20 hours a week is not how you do it. They say somewhere around that 8 hour a week block is actually better for you, than training past that constantly. But my whole life, I haven't been training for longevity. And like that's something that's in my head, but I've been training because I want to be the best in the world at something. First it was football or soccer. And then I quickly realized I wasn't gifted enough to be in the best world of that. And then it was mountain biking.
Painful realization we all must go through.
Yeah. And then it was snowboarding for a little bit. I wanted to race border cross. And then it was cross country mountain biking. And then it was quickly like the hybrid space after that. And I did some firefighting races in there, but it was never my focus, like these. So going from that to trying to switch to a mindset of, okay, now I'm training just to be healthy and to maintain as much as I can. That's a switch that is really hard to flip, is you go from being like, I'm training to be the best in the world, or to be the whoever's listening to this podcast, like whatever your goal is, switching that after you're having health problems or an injury to now I'm in a maintenance mode. Like I'm literally trying to maintain, and also just maintain mental health, but also my fitness. that can be really demoralizing to flip that switch because you're so focused and you're so gifted at something, and then that gets taken away, and now it has to become about like, how much can I maintain, and also maybe I train more like grandma does now, like I'm not training to get faster and faster and faster. I'm actually just training kind of like old people do, to not lose as much as quickly. And that's a really, really hard switch to flip in your brain. And like, I'm still trying to do that. But it's true. Like, anything that you do to maintain your fitness is gonna be better off when you can get back to it. That's something I've always done. And I actually think that's why I'm able to typically come back so quickly from other injuries. Like, even in 2023, I spent 6 months of the year struggling with like various lower body, not injuries, but not overuse injuries, but just problems, I would say. Like, I sliced the bottom of my foot, got infected, stuff like that. And then because I trained so much cycling and I maintained as much as I could running, as soon as I came back, I was like, it was there. Um, and so I have that ingrained in myself so much that I've never really stopped training. And so it's kind of like the hard water stains on a window. You can clean them off, like your fitness goes away, but as soon as the sprinklers come on the next morning, it's like, I just cleaned that window yesterday, and then it's back. Like, it's because of years of buildup that they're gonna stay. And that's kind of how I think of fitness, is like, the more years that you can just like keep going and keep trying, the quicker those hard water stains of fitness are gonna come back on your window. Like, it's just inevitable. So I try and remember that it's a very quick process if you can get back to it. So if you don't stop completely, you're back so much quicker.